Okay. So let us now move on to the fourth aspect of niyama, which is swadhyaya. And so swa means self and adhyaya means study, like something like a chapter that you're studying or whatever that means. So swadhyaya means that you're studying yourself. It's as simple as that. And I think while this is self-explanatory, again, this needs to be delved into to understand it a little better. So Maharishi Patanjali did not just say that you do a self-study, so you sit and read a book, and that is one aspect of Swadhyaya. A big aspect of it is reflection, contemplation. So whatever it is that you study, learn, you sit with it and you reflect on it. You contemplate on it, on how it relates to you, what it means to you. Because only then will you be able to understand its essence in a better way. Otherwise, it will just be somebody else's idea that you're trying to memorize and share, but
Right,
you will
right,
never live it yourself.
right, right.
So reflection of whatever you've studied is a very important part of self-study, swadhyaya. And a lot of people think that in yoga, if you're doing swadhyaya, means you have to read all these sacred texts and
Sacred
all of that.
texts. Yeah.
It is, while it is excellent, I personally love reading some of the texts. Like I have read the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and I'm also trying to understand in my own simple way what Vedas and Upanishads mean, the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. But that is one aspect of it. But there are so many other books, so many other contemporary writers who are talking about life in a broad sense, from a
Yes.
different fresh perspective. So even if it means reading books that will help you open up doors in your mind, and help you deepen your practice, or any articles, any courses,
Yes.
you
Yes.
should always invest your time in that, if you're getting the opportunity, because
Wow.
that will help you deepen your practice. Otherwise it will just be 1 hour a week or 2 hour a week
Correct.
practice on your mat.
So, Deepa, I will like
And
to add something here. So, as you said, a lot of books like Louis Hayes, You Can Heal Your Life, or these beautiful books by authors like Dr. Wayne Dyer. Then we have Deepak Chopra. We have The Power of Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. All these books, I think they more or
yeah,
less, because my journey has evolved a lot around reading these books, and a lot of
yeah,
knowledge I gained from there. So, when you mentioned that it's not just about reading a particular book, or it's all about gaining the
yeah.
knowledge. So I think
It's about getting, yeah. And
yes,
I think some of these contemporary authors have done a great job of summarizing some of the ancient philosophies and making it
yes,
more relatable. So,
correct, correct,
like you said,
totally.
I've heard about Louise Hay. I've heard about Gabriel Bernstein as well.
Gabriel
So I think
Bernstein. Yes,
Bernstein,
yes,
yes. So it's great if you're able to pique your interest in philosophy and take up something that will help you deepen your practice, open doors in your mind.
correct,
It'll
correct.
be wonderful.
Beautiful.
And um, and
Yeah.
there are and sorry, you were saying something.
No,
I
no, no.
go
I,
ahead.
I would like to, because I know there is so much to share, Deepa. We both want to talk so much. But, of course, go ahead. I want to hear from you.
No, I specifically wanted to talk about Swadhyaya and how that can be practiced on the mat and off the mat. I think
Sure.
this is very important
Of course.
because I see many students coming on their mat, and when they're doing a posture, their eyes are open and they're looking here, looking there. We already discussed that. But if you're really practicing it on your mat, you know your your eyes are closed and you're really going deeper into your practice by observing your body, your breath, your reaction to how you're sitting in a certain posture. Say you're doing a forward fold and you're really struggling, and how you try to calm yourself down and how your body reacts to that. All of that is part of Swadhyaya. And even if it means off your mat, something that I know a lot of practitioners do, that they do like a living meditation, or a uh, um, or a not a sitting meditation, but a day long meditation where they're constantly observing themselves
Yes.
in day to day situations. So how they react to everyday situations in life, and how they could have reacted. What is it about that situation that got them agitated or aggravated? And by constantly observing your own reaction, you're learning so much about yourself that you had no clue about. So I think
So
this is a very
beautifully
important
said.
part
Yes.
of Swadhyaya. So we say that, do meditation, sit for 10 minutes and do meditation, but actually you don't need to sit. You can watch yourself throughout the day, and that
Yes.
itself becomes a meditation.
Yes, 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 yes. And even when you do things like journaling or when you're coloring something, that becomes like a meditation too.
Absolutely.
So
There are
beautifully said.
so many aspects to it. It's not just, there is no one way of looking at it.
And
There are
I'm
so many
taking
different
notes.
lenses through which you can look.
And I'm taking notes here because it's so important for me. There is so much to learn, Deepa, and in this way, we're making a short video trying to cover as much. But I feel I have to do a lot of homework after this to maybe read a lot and more important, apply a lot of this in my life. So I'm very much writing the notes.
Me too, and I'm learning so much about energy healing and Reiki, and how there are so many connections. They're so interconnected, and
Absolutely.
you're following the same yamas and niyamas in your own practice, which is,
With a different name,
which is
with
great.
a different example.
Different name, exactly.
Wow.
We have one more
Sure.
niyama to cover, which is Ishvara Pranidhana, which
Hmm.
means surrender to the universe or higher self or God, if you believe in, God. And I think this is self-explanatory. I think at least as Indians, we have heard B.R. Chopra. We have heard this in B.R. Chopra's Mahabharat. Karm kar, fal ki chinta mat kar. Matlab, meaning that you
Yes.
do your action and don't worry about the results. And I
Yes.
think it pretty much means that, where you do everything with a sense of surrender. So you give it your best shot, and once you've given it your best shot, you let the dynamics of whatever is happening decide the result of it, instead of worrying about it, instead of attaching yourself to, oh my god,
The
what's going to
fruits
happen.
of it. Yes.
The fruits of it, yeah, absolutely. So literally for me, I think surrender, ultimately, after all of that, if you cannot surrender whatever you've done with your full heart, then yeah, then it's going to be more challenging for you.
And Deepa, surrender happens to be one of the most important learnings of my life. Um, Again, as a part of my teachings too, I use, even in my manifestation workshops, I talk a lot about surrender. And for most of my students, they say that surrender is very difficult. And for me as well, yes, my journey has been revolving around surrender a lot. And you just mentioned Gabrielle Bernstein a few minutes ago, and she has written two beautiful books on, a book which says The Universe Has Your Back, which talks about surrender, and the super attractor, which actually helps you to live surrender at every moment, which means you surrender to a power higher than you. Surrender doesn't mean give up. Surrender doesn't mean give in. It means
Absolutely.
connect to the source, connect to the divine,
Yes.
and allow
Yes.
that divine to work through you, because we are co-creators. We are creating with the universe, with the divine, in whatever form you may see the divine, but the divine is always working with you. And the moment you understand that you are not on the driver's seat, because we want to take control of everything, and the moment we understand that we don't need to control, because there is a higher power working with it, it absolutely puts the focus on the divine power. And once you start
Yeah.
working with the divine power, everything starts working out. And this has been my learning, this has been my experience, Deepa. And um, as you said,
Yes.
we learned about it when we were probably, when we were kids. We heard about karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturvu mate sangotsa vikarmani, which means do the work and don't look for results, which is exactly what surrender is all about, which means you do your best, you take an inspired action, and then you allow the
Yes.
universe to work with you. And Shri
Yes.
Krishna also mentions in the Bhagavad Gita about surrendering to the higher authority, which is surrendering to the higher divine. Which I would like to add another verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which I just recollected, which means Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo
Mhm.
Moksha Ishyavi Mahasucha.
Swami Master.
Do everything and surrender to me, or which I call as surrender to the higher power. And that will give you what you really like to. So I see that it's so much, everything is just coming together. The learnings
Coming
from
to,
Reiki, the learnings from Access Consciousness, the
yes,
learnings from Gita, the learnings from day to day
yeah,
life, from
yes,
psychology, from Carl Jung, because Carl Jung, when he talks about psychology, he also talks about, when we talk about the shadow work, we also talk a lot about surrender there. So I think everything is
yeah.
just coming together when we talk about niyamas and yamas. Wow, I'm amazed.
Absolutely, absolutely. Amazing. I love the chants from the Bhagavad Gita that you shared. And
Isn't
you
it
know, we
beautiful?
chant this also in our course, and it's so
Wow,
powerful.
wow.
And it reminds us, it keeps reminding us to trust the cosmic intelligence, to trust that this is not a mechanistic world where things are just happening at random. There is a higher
Absolutely.
intelligence at work through us, not
Through
some
us.
old man with a beard sitting up there in heaven deciding our fate,
Absolutely.
but the intelligence that is working through us, inside us. We trust that, and
Yes, and we are
yeah,
the co-creators, because when we are only, it's not only we who are creating. When we use the word, the co-creator word, it's so beautiful because it talks about you doing your work. It's not that you're going to laze around the whole day and allow the divine to
yeah,
give you. No, we are not talking about
yeah,
that. Do your work, but also understand that there is a higher power which is working with you. Once you have done
yeah.
your work, allow that power to work, and that is the beautiful
To
way
work,
how the surrender works as such.
work.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. this is this is great, and I love sharing these insights with you, Ash. And I'm
Wow.
loving hearing your contemporary point of view that you're
Yes.
bringing into the yogic aspects of yamas and niyamas. And this is what I feel our audience needs:
Yes.
understanding yamas and
Absolutely.
niyamas from a
From
contemporary
a
point of view,
contemporary point
and
of view. Yes.
not just as some sacred text that was written 2000 years ago. These
Correct.
things are still relevant. They are very,
Yes,
very
yes,
relevant.
yes. And the best part is most of us are trying to achieve these things without understanding that we are practicing yoga. Because I see a lot of
Yes,
my students, even if they have just
absolutely.
begin with a basic class, maybe they have done with some, maybe something like a cognitive healing workshop, and they are not even closely related to understanding what this is. But I see that they are already practicing it. They say, I don't understand it, but I should tell them now that you're already practicing it.
You're already practicing yoga.
So thank you so much
True.
for sharing. And as I said, I have so much homework to do now that I've learned this from you.
Me
Thank
too.
you for your valuable time and for making things so
Thank you,
easy for
Ash.
us, because it really means so much. I was always looking for someone who would explain these concepts in a very easy manner. And I'm very glad to have you on this video and in this series. So thank you so much
Pleasure
once
is
again.
mine.
And we hope to see you soon
Thank you,
with the
Ash.
next
See you guys
limb
soon
of
for the
yoga.
next one.
Yes, uh,
Asana.
which is asana. And I'm sure there will be a lot to discuss in that as well. So thank you all for watching the third episode of Awaken to the Yoga series with me and Deepa. As you're aware of, Deepa is a Sivananda lineage yoga teacher, a very beautiful soul, and she has shared so much with us, which we are very grateful to her for. You can follow Deepa on her Instagram handle, which is Aham Deepa. Of course, you can follow us on our unicorn underscore insight, which is our Instagram handle, and on Facebook as Ashwini Chube Official and Unicorn Insight. To know more about us, log on to our website www.unicorninsight.com. And if you are watching us on our YouTube channel, please, please, please like, share,
Like,
and
share,
subscribe to our channel,
subscribe.
and share this knowledge with all the people who would really need it. Once again, gratitude, Deepa. Lots of love and light to you. We are grateful to
Thank
have
you.
you.
To you too.
And thank you, everyone.
Grateful,
We'll
dear.
see you very soon. Bye bye.
Bye.